guys, so today I thought it'd be fun to join a collaboration of other homeschool moms who are sharing their favorites of a list of 20 things. So one of these moms has come up with a list of things, and each of us are sharing our favorite in that category or of that type of thing. So I thought it kind of like fun, and I thought I would join and do that today. So that's what this is going to be. Do check out the playlist below. Because I'll link that below so you can see what other moms, what their favorites in these categories or these types of things are. And also check out the links below for CJ at Homeschooling Through High School and Stephanie at Schulte Sweetie Homeschool that I'll be linking below as they are the ones hosting the collaboration today. So thank you to them. Okay, so I'm just going to jump in. There's 20 things. There's a few things I don't really have a favorite in, so that's just going to be what it's going to be. But to start, the first category is calendar or planner. And I have a hunch most of the moms on here will be sharing their favorite planners, so I thought I would do the other and do my favorite calendar because I'm not sure I really have a favorite planner at this point. I tried one out last year that worked pretty well, but I'm maybe trying out a different one this year, so we haven't settled on like a favorite. But I do have currently a favorite calendar that I've used a couple years in a row because I love the quality. It's like that almost canvasy paper texture and the artwork is beautiful. So it's watercolors. I'll pop a link up here. Last year I did one with birds, and this year it's been flowers. Or maybe actually 2 years ago I did birds, and then I did flowers and flowers again. Anyhow, I think these are gorgeous. They have a lot of space to write in comparatively, and I don't feel like it's tacky on my wall. It almost looks like another piece of artwork to me. And I know I've seen people like frame these, so it looks even more like artwork. I thought about doing that, but I do really like these. So this is my go-to calendar. Okay, category 2 is your favorite homeschool game, and I feel like I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one because currently my favorite homeschool games are the games that come in our math curriculum. We do Math with Confidence, and she does these card games, Addition Climb to the Top, adding nines bingo, adding tic-tac-toe, adding 8 crash, tic-tac-toe, subtraction climb to the top, subtraction roll and cover, connect the boxes, subtraction beetle. All of these honestly have been the best games we've used in our homeschool. I've used some other games that are okay, but I feel like these are the ones that consistently work, challenge my kids' brains, and are still fun. So I know that's kind of a cheat because it's not really a separate game. It's part of my curriculum. But I do believe if you're not using Math with Confidence, be like, oh, I kind of like that idea. I do believe that her addition facts that stick series or facts that stick series. So addition facts that stick, subtraction facts that stick, multiplication and division facts that sticks. I think those are pretty much the games that are in her math series. You'd have to go look that up. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that if you want to get your hands on these games, you could just get that book and it would kind of be an addition to your homeschool. Anyhow, but when I was thinking about games, I didn't really have like a game that was like, this one's been amazing other than those. Those are what really stood out. So that's what we're going to say. Okay, 3, my favorite storage organizer or like organization piece. And this one are these magazine holders. Easily, these are great. I use these on my bookshelves. I use these in my homeschool cart. They just keep things neat. If you have miscellaneous papers, planners, binder dividers, tab things, miscellaneous books or notebooks that are any like floppier things, anything you bind yourself, or for dividing your kids' homeschooling books, binders, notebooks, all that. And these work great for me, and I love them. I need to buy some more because I think I'm gonna run out this year. But I find that these help me keep my homeschool stuff really neat and tidy. So I would say these are definitely on the top of the list for me. I will also link anything that I mentioned down below so that if you guys are interested in any of these, you can find them easily. But okay, category number 4 is your favorite apps or websites. We don't use a lot of electronics in our homeschool, so we don't really have a lot of apps. We use my favorite 2 websites currently that we're using is the Hoffman Academy Piano Lessons. Those are amazing. I've talked about that a lot on this channel, so I'm not going to go into depth. I have a video all on that. I can link that below. And then the other one that that I'm using a lot is the Ambleside Online website, just for resources for books, specifically literature and book read aloud ideas. They have a lot of free resources on there. So those would be my 2 favorite websites currently, are the ones that we use the most. Okay, favorite homeschool supply store, either brick and mortar or online, or both. Online, my favorite one for new supplies would be Rainbow Resources. They're always super cheap, really cost effective for both curriculum and supplies. I feel like that's consistently the place I find things the cheapest at a new price. And then for brick and mortar, I would say the place I go to buy my homeschool supplies during the back to school sales. I'm going to preface that. This is specifically during back to school sales, but consistently Walmart has the best prices and a pretty good selection of things, in my opinion. And that's where I go at this point. That's my go-to for my homeschool supplies would be Walmart during the back to school sales, or like I said, Rainbow Resources for curriculum or supplies online. Those would be my two. 6 would be your favorite binding machine. So I have a binding machine, but I wouldn't say I'm like gung ho about the one I have. And I haven't really tried other ones. So I don't have a favorite binding machine per se. The one I have works for some of the kids' stuff that I do, but I don't love it. But my favorite place to get things bound, if I'm going to go pay somebody to bind it, because there are times when I have a teacher's manual or something that I want spiral bound. And here locally where we are, by far the cheapest, like half the price of anybody else I've quoted. And I quoted like Staples, UPS store. I called a couple places, but the cheapest one that I have found has been Office Depot. Um, they were like $5 to bind a book, where everybody else was like $7 to $15. So by far, it's my favorite place to go and get something bound. Favorite laminator. I have, again, only tried the one I have, so I don't like have a favorite in that I've tried all these different laminators, but the one I have works great. So I have no complaints. It does exactly what it said it would. So I'll link it up here. It's the Scotch laminator. It's not their expensive brand. And I buy the basic Amazon laminating sheets because they're super cheap. Like I say, I'll link both of those below so you can see I don't buy any special sheets. These are just cheap ones, but they work really well. So I have no complaints. I like what I have. If you're looking for just a very simple, basic laminator, this one works great. Okay, printer and printer paper. Um, okay, I love my printer. I have tried 2 different kinds of Incotek printers, which I am a fan of, and several older printers. And the one I have now is by far my favorite. I know that the Epson Incotek's are super popular, and I did not like mine as much. It wasn't bad, but I like the one I have now better, with a caveat. The one I have does jam fairly frequently, but the jams are really easy to fix. They're not ones that like eat the paper or destroy your process. And so I can quickly just pull out the paper and it keeps going. And I have had a little bit of trouble with my cyan colored ink needing to be like the nozzle needing to clean regularly. It seems to clog for some reason on that color. But even with those 2 problems, I've really, really liked my printer. So I have a Canon Maxify, and I don't remember what the model number is. I'll throw a picture up here and link it below. Um, and it is a printer that prints two-sided. It's a printer that scans two-sided, which is actually one of the things that sold me on it because, yeah, that's amazing. And it's one of those Incotek's, so it's super cost-effective as far as printing. As far as printer paper goes, I really just buy the cheapest paper on Amazon that consistently works for me. Like if I got one that totally is junk, then no. But I don't remember the brand that I go for. But it's just pretty much your cheapest reams of paper. Okay, notebooking book. All right, so again, I think this might be a teeny bit of a cheat, but my favorite notebooking books are these flex binders. I love these. They completely go flat like a notebook, and they're a binder, and these are by far my favorite notebooking thing. However, if this doesn't qualify as a notebooking book, I did get a second one because I was like, well, that's kind of, I don't know if that's real. It's more of a binder. I really like these primary composition notebooks, specifically for your younger children. These are the ones that have the lines and then this like the pictures up top. And I don't go for any specific special brand. On Amazon, there are tons of these ranging between $3 and $7 with really cute covers. And my daughter really, really likes these. So I would say these are a great option. I know tons of people like the School Nest notebooks and they look beautiful, but honestly, for $3 or $4 or even $5 compared to like $10 or $11, this just seems way more cost effective to me. So I like these a lot. Okay, places to get or buy books. For me, I buy used books a ton. So I would say in person, my favorite 2 are thrift stores and garage sales. But then next would be if I buy online, I would see thrift books and ABE books are the places that I can consistently find the cheapest prices. And it's not consistent which one or the other wins. It's every other book is cheaper at ABE books, every other book is cheaper at thrift books. But those 2 are great places to look when you're buying used books online. And often they'll have free shipping, or thrift books is like free shipping if you get to $15, which is really pretty good. And ABE books, it just depends on the seller. Some sellers have shipping, but a lot of them offer them for free shipping. So I like both of those sites. Okay, my favorite electronic product. Again, we don't use a lot of electronics in our homeschool, so I would say my favorite one is my laptop. I just use my laptop a ton for my planning, for my spreadsheets for our homeschool. It's all back end for creating workbook pages or notebook pages or whatever I use. I would say that's like the primary electronic resource that I use other than my phone. Okay, homeschool or motherhood podcast. Another one, I'm just not a podcast person, so I don't really have a good resource for you on that. I feel like I should be. I feel like I should get into it. It's just I'm not, or I haven't yet. Maybe someday down the road I'll become a podcast man, and I just haven't yet. So sorry, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Okay. And this next one I kind of like. So this is a just for fun thing. So show off your favorite mug or water bottle for coffee, water, or tea. And by far, the one I have right here is my favorite. I'm going to try not to spill my coffee. Hopefully, you can read this on here, but it says, "We can't all look good at the same time. It's either me, the kids, or the house." And I saw this somewhere and it just cracked me up. I was like, I need that. So my husband bought it for me because we were out on a date and I was like, I like that is my mug. And it's like the perfect size to put both hands around and stay warm, which is another factor. But it just spoke to me. It was like, yes, that's so true in the stage of life I am with littles and toddlers. You gotta kind of pick what's your priority for the day. If you're lucky, if you get more than one of those in. Okay, homeschool thrifting secret. I don't know what thrifting secrets would be. Honestly, I'm actually this one. I'm kind of curious to look at other moms' videos because I don't know if I have any thrifting secrets, or maybe I have some that I just don't know about. Just look, like dig through. Especially in the books. I feel like the books are the best section for homeschooling stuff and the games. You get games and science kits and stuff, but I don't know if I have any secrets for that. It's just dig around until you find something. Um, Pens, pencils, markers, etc. So my favorite pens right now are these erasable pens. I'm converted to erasable pens for like planning, especially like your homeschool planner. Oh my goodness, these are the best things ever. Um, it's so nice to be able to plan it all the way out and then just erase it if you change it or if your day doesn't go according to plan. Like, it's so easy to adjust your schedule without, feeling like you can't write it in because you're worried about adjusting it. So, love these. I will link them below. This set has been great. They work really, really well, and they were pretty cheap in comparison, I think. Don't quote me on that. But they weren't really expensive. I do know that because I wouldn't have bought them. Um, so I really, really like that. Okay, next one is your homeschooling encouraging book that encourages you, keeps you sharpened, or helps you as you started your journey. This one was challenging for me to think about because one of the books that I would have gone to in the past, I'm kind of veering away from a little bit. It's not like my go-to anymore. So I don't know if I have like a single homeschool book that I'm like, this is the one I would recommend for everybody. But for me personally, and so this is my answer, there are two books that I read this year that I feel like I'm really glad I bought, and they're going to be on my shelf as ones that I want to read multiple times, especially in the summers before starting homeschool. And maybe not the whole book, but I want to read portions of these two books during the summers and this summer especially, just to help me remember what my goals and motives and philosophies behind homeschooling are. So that would be Norms and Nobility, a treatise on education. And I feel like this just broke down education and ancient classical education and what the goals and motives were behind it and how it contrasts with our education today. And it was really challenging and thought provoking and really helped me think and realize some of the goals that I want in our homeschool. And then the other one that I feel like did a really good job at helping me understand what I wanted my goals in our homeschool to be was Consider This, Charlotte Mason in the Classical Tradition. And again, this breaks down the ancient classical method and what their goals and their philosophy and priorities were and what they were aiming for within education. And I feel like both of these books are ones that I'm going to be coming back to regularly to remind myself of what my priorities and goals in our education are. So for me personally, these are going to be ones that we reference. Again, it depends on what style homeschool you lean towards. I do lean towards more of the ancient classical, not neoclassical as much anymore, but more of the older classical methods. And these ones really just talk through those methods really well. And so I feel like these are going to be my rereads, my summer, get myself back on track where I want to be books. Okay, printable resource, favorite printable resource. I don't have a specific resource, but I would say my favorite place to go to look for printable resources is Teachers Pay Teachers. They have a ton of free stuff on there, honestly, and a lot of stuff that's very affordable because it's often moms trying to create resources. It's not these big curriculum companies, so you can get really good prices for what you're looking for, and there's generally something out there, for at least something along the lines of what I'm looking for. So I like them because I often can find it free, but even when I can't, I feel like they're very cost effective. So that's where I generally default to looking for printable resources. Um, Homeschooling tip that you learned from somebody. Okay, that one's easy. There's one tip that my sister-in-law said to me, and it has stuck with me. It made so much sense, and it's something I remember periodically. And she said, when you're picking homeschool curriculum, pick something that you like and that you enjoy, and then you will be the best teacher at it that you can be. Like, and it stuck with me because I know there's a lot of talk about picking curriculum that fits your child or that fits your homeschool style or all this stuff. But I found it to ring true that if I pick something that I like and that works for my mind and that I enjoy, then I can teach it well versus something that is just for my child and I hate and don't resonate with. I won't be a very good teacher at it. So if I find something that I connect with and can get passionate about, then I can be excited and I can share that with my children in a passionate, excited way. And if it makes sense to me and my brain can organize it right, then I won't be a chaotic teacher or frustrated. I'll be able to understand and make it flow smoothly. So that piece of advice to find something that I like and I enjoy and I connect with or am passionate about as a priority of the curriculum we choose has been a really good tip actually, and I've really liked it and come back to that. Okay, two more categories. Favorite homeschool benefit. That is such a big category. I don't know if I can pick a favorite homeschool benefit. I mean, there's the flexibility of schedule. There's the fact that we are teaching our children what we believe in, our morals, what we stand for. We can pass that on to our children. Um, I feel like there's so much, but one of the ones that I feel like is not talked about as often and that I kind of unexpected benefit that I hadn't thought about, but as I've done school for a year or two, I've been like, oh, this is really good, is I get individual one-on-one time with my kids. Now sometimes it's in a group, but then I also have the individual subjects that we focus on. And I know this is over school, so it's not like this is great, like, oh, happy, we're cuddling time. But at the same time, my child gets my full attention for a chunk of time. Um, Working with them and and we can enjoy it and it's good and I can give them praise for doing well and encourage them when they are struggling and walk through challenging things when they break down and can't handle it. We can talk through how we do things that are hard. And I found that individual one-on-one time with my kids, or even as a group, like time that I'm intentionally spending with them, has been really good. And I didn't think about school as time with my children, but the more I've done it, the more I realize that it's just very intentional time with my children. And we're focusing on specific things, but within that, we're learning a lot of other things and we're spending time together and we're sitting on the couch together reading and all the things that come with it. I just didn't expect that. So I would say that benefit has been an unexpected one that I really, really appreciate. Okay. And then lastly, they gave a free for all, just pick a category that you like. So I just chose my favorite read aloud series. Now, this is not one that I've done with my children yet, but it's one that my parents read aloud to us multiple times. And it's the one I probably look forward to reading to my children the most. And we're going to be starting the first book this year because, yeah, these have such amazing memories for me and they're so well written and I absolutely love them. And they're very common, so it may not come as a surprise, but the Little House series by Laura Ingalls Wilder is going to be my favorite of all time, probably read aloud. I feel like they are so simple and just show a different time and type of living, and they had good morals and good family structure. They're just wholesome. Wholesome and well written, and yeah, I love them so much, and I have such good memories of my parents reading these to us. We'd all be sick on the couch, all of us kids, and I have memories of my mom reading to us while we were all sick and in the evenings. I don't know, these are my top read aloud series. So if you have not read the series or if you're just familiar with the TV show, read the series. They are so, so good. I love them. So that would be my favorite. And that is all 20. So those are my favorite items in each of those categories. I hope this was fun for you. I would love it if you would comment below your favorite in some of these categories. Pick the ones that you have like, oh, I've got a favorite in that, and share those below. I'd love to know what those are for you. And don't forget, again, to check the playlist below because you can see what other moms are saying they love in these categories. I will be watching them and seeing what they say. And maybe I'll get some good ideas from them too.